Hey, it's JayMac, and I want to welcome you into another edition of Joyful Parents. Today, a very important message, and it's going to sound a little bit strange at first, but please hear me out. Here's what I want you to think about as parents. Never, ever, ever take away the cell phone as punishment. And I know that you're going to think, well, this is the perfect thing for punishment. It's leverage. It's something that they want. And so if I threaten to take that away, then I'm going to have a better chance of them doing what I want. And you're right about all of those things. And earlier on in my parenting, we absolutely would take away the mobile phone. But that is until something very dramatic happened in my family, something that changed the course of our lives forever, and something that would possibly, I can't say for sure, but possibly be very different had a cell phone not been removed as punishment. You see, several years ago, my nephew was staying up late at night. He was 17 years old. He was staying up late at night, and he was on his phone and he was on his laptop. And my brother, being the good parent that he is, wanting to have his son sleep at night instead of staying up all night, watching anime or being on his phone, saw the warm glow under the door of his son's bedroom, and decided to go in and see what was going on. And of course, his son was on these devices. My brother gave him a short lecture, and he took away the phone and he took away the laptop. And I think that that's something no different than so many of us parents would do. Like I said, I had done it in the past. Well, the very next day, my nephew, the 17-year-old, got up in the morning and left for school and was never seen or heard from again. Completely disappeared, evaporated. He has never been seen again. It's been over 5 years. He's gone. We don't know what happened to him. We've had search after search. We've had media coverage. We've done everything that can possibly be done. And my nephew is gone. Now, we did find a note saying that he was potentially thinking about taking his own life, expressing a lot of anger. I know that he was facing some depression. But generally, this was a very good young man who had a good relationship with his parents. And of course, this was a shock to the entire family. Now, I had a chance when I went down to help search for my missing nephew. They lived in St. George, and there was a report that maybe my nephew had gone to Las Vegas. So we all went down to Las Vegas, and we all sat on the strip for hours and hours and drove around Las Vegas to see if we could find him. And we worked with the search and rescue team in Las Vegas. And the head of the search and rescue team said something to me that I had never considered. And I thought about it for a while, and I thought, you know what? He is exactly right. He said, I've seen it time and time again. A parent takes away the phone, and then the child goes missing. Sometimes from abduction, sometimes from running away. And he said, when you take away that device, you are taking away the ability to track your child. Now, yes, my 17-year-old maybe had the knowledge to turn off location tracking. Maybe he didn't. But what I can say is that there is a chance that he would have left location tracking on, left his phone on, and that perhaps we could have seen where he went initially and had some leads. But instead, we were left with nothing. And again, I don't think that my brother did anything wrong here. But it's not about right or wrong. It's about thinking about the potential consequences and understanding that these devices are not just for texting, phone calls, and for, surfing the internet or being on Snapchat or whatever the kids do today. These devices track location. And that is such an important reason to have a phone on your child. I see a lot of parents saying, oh, I'm not going to give my child a phone until they're 17 or 18. Why does my kid need a phone? I didn't need a phone when I was a kid. I've heard this over and over again because I used to give presentations about child safety with technology. And so many parents would say that. Why do I need this and that? And the first thing I would say is because I think it's our job as a parent to help our children know how to grow up and use technology responsibly. But the second thing that I would always say is it's a tracker. If somebody kidnaps your child, if there is an abduction and they have that phone on their person, do you know how many crimes have been solved because a phone was left on or because we could track a location? How many people have been found safe and recovered because this device was not turned off? I've completely turned around on this, and that's why I just wanted you to think about it. Now, you're the parent of your child, and you have to decide what's best for your child. And please don't take any of these videos as I'm telling you there's only one way to raise a child. You know best. You raise each of your children the best way that you know how. I just want you to think about some things that I hadn't thought about early on and that I hope can get you thinking. And maybe consider some things that you had never considered before. And I'm going to guess if your child ever goes missing, that the idea that they have a phone on them will at least give you a little bit of hope. So that is my message today. In my opinion, in my recommendation, don't take away the phone. There are things you can do on the phone to make it so they can't text, to make it so they can't be on the internet. There's all kinds of parental settings that you can set on the phone and put a pin on there. Those are all absolutely viable, and that's what we started doing with our children. We'd let them keep the phone, but we'd turn it into a dumb phone. But that way it was still a tracker. So just something to think about today, as I know it's such a struggle with parents and technology. It feels like our kids know so much more with tech, and they're teaching each other how to get over all of these, security measures and things. And here we are as parents, we're on our own, we're trying to keep up with our kids, and it's very difficult. So hopefully this one suggestion will help you out. And remember, in my online course, Joyful Parents, I have an entire section on keeping your kids safe in a digital world. So I hope you'll take a look at that and let us know any thoughts or practices that you have that help you keep your kids safe digitally online. And please take a minute and subscribe. That is very important to helping others see this information. And again, head over to my website, jaymcfarland.com. Click on online courses and take a look at my course on joyful parenting.